back to my channel. Today I'm joined by my sister Allie, who was my very first makeup client when we were little kids. Today we're going to use the most amazing palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, her new master palette with Mario. And it has just some really amazing, beautiful shades that are great for fall. So here we go. So I'm going to start by prepping the skin, and I'm going to use, Allie's favorite is the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Cream. Just going to take a little bit of this on all the high points of the face. Sorry, my hands are so cold, oh my gosh. You're used to that by now, probably.
Cold hands run in the family.
Alright, just a thin layer of that. I really like this moisturizer because Allie has dry skin, so you want something that's going to hydrate your skin but not ball up under the foundation. And the next thing I'm going to take is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. This is beautiful on the skin. It's really lightweight. It adds the most slight glowy finish to the skin, which I feel like is just the perfect complement to the Mario palette, because he's really famous for giving his clients beautiful skin and kind of sultry, bronzy eyes. So that's kind of what we're gonna go for today. I love the way this looks on your face. And then we're gonna go in with Makeup Forever HD stick. Allie is the shade Y325, which is formerly known as 118. I'm just going to stripe this on the face, down the T-zone, sides of the nose, chin, and then just a teeny bit dab. A little bit around the edges of the nose, because that's where most people get really red. And I'm just going to use a Real Techniques buffing brush. And work that into the skin. This Real Techniques brush, I said buffing brush, but it's the Expert Face brush. But it does the same thing, it's just a little bit more tapered. Oops, I got a hair. I really like these brushes because they're super affordable. You can get them at Walmart, Ulta, even I think grocery stores like Wegmans carry them, which is great because if you're at the store and you just need to pick something up, it's really convenient. And they're very budget friendly. So as you can see, I start at the middle of the face and I work my way out. That's how you get the most natural finish from your foundation, even one that's as high coverage as the HD. You don't want to just apply the whole thing all over the face because then it'll look a lot more full on, which is fine if you want to do that for like a night out or you're going to a wedding and you really need it to stay on. I would definitely recommend putting a bit more, but if this is going to be your daytime look, you still want to see your skin, and that's what I like about this foundation is you can thin it out. And Allie has like the slightest freckles just right here and on her nose, and I want those to come through because they look really youthful and pretty. Okay, so that's the skin. And we're going to save concealing under the eyes for the end. The next thing I'm going to go in with to give a little something for the shadow to stick to is the Bobbi Brown Long Wear Cream Shadow Stick in Golden Bronze. This is a gorgeous, really simple eyeshadow that's a long wear product. I really love this under eyeshadow just to have everything stick and stay together, but it's also just so pretty on its own. You can just rub it in with your finger, and if you missed a spot, just go back in. You don't have to be perfect about it, you're just dotting it around. The only place you really want to make sure you apply it solidly is right along the lash line. And then just blend. You can use a brush to blend this in, but I just like the texture of blending it out with my finger. Okay, so already she has a really pretty depth on the top of her lid, and now we're just going to go in. I'm going to try the brush, the brush that comes with the palette, and see how we like it. We're going to start with the color Kim, which looks sort of like a bronze with a little bit of a red shot through it. It's kind of a reddish brown. Really, really pretty. Just gonna start this on the outside corner. And I haven't used this yet, so we're really just playing around here, which is what we used to do as kids, which is fun. Ooh, it's gorgeous. Oh my gosh. So I'm just working this outer V. So this is one leg of the V, this is the other leg, and I'm just going back and forth. And it is giving a little bit of fall down, so that's why we didn't do concealer yet. Anytime you're working with a shadow and you want it to look natural, even if it's going to be something that's not a bone color or a neutral color, the way to do that is to just work it in with blending. So I put the teeniest amount on the brush, and I still got so much color payoff. So what I'm going to do is grab a clean brush. This is just a NARS tapered brush. And I'm going to start by kind of flicking away from the inside out. Because if you go this way, you're going to get that powder all right here in this corner of your nose, which can look really dark and kind of play up any dark circles that you might have. So what this does is blend it, blend it, blend it until literally this outside corner just looks like your skin. You don't see a seam, you don't see a line of your eyeshadow. All you see is kind of a beautiful, warm color right in on this crease of the brow bone. So same with the other eye, flicking away, and then just blending. The next thing I'm going to do is take a liner that's almost the same exact color as the shadow. This is a little makeup artist trick. What this is going to do is add definition to the lash line without adding more color or making it look darker. So this is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Roach, which is like a really gorgeous kind of bourbon bronze color. I'm going to lift the eyebrow. I prefer to lift the eyebrow as opposed to pull because this skin here is so delicate. So I just gently lift the eyebrow with my thumb. I even do this on myself when I'm doing my own makeup. And I'm going to line from the outer edge of the eye just right here to the middle. I'm not going to go any further in because then it's going to look too full on. So same with the other side. Starting from the outside, little small strokes until you get to this point here, which is just about where the eyebrow starts to arch, right here in the middle. And that's going to be where it's the thinnest, and then it'll work its way out to be a bit thicker. And if you need to, you can just use your finger and blend it a bit. So if you open, all you see is a teeny bit more depth and concentration of color by the lashes without adding anything too dark. That will make it just more wearable for daytime, and I promise you, you can wear this look to work without feeling like you look like a crazy. All right, so I always curl the lashes. Our family, we have very, very straight lashes. Sad face. This is the Tweezer Man. I haven't used this one yet. I like it. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just going back and making sure that they're all curled, because when you do have straight lashes and you only curl one section, you can tell. And then you have like, some are curly, some are not, kind of crazy. Okay, next thing I'm gonna do is grab a Q-tip. Oh my gosh, I love this. And I'm just gonna clean up what I can. What I'm doing is just twisting as I go. This definitely has a little bit of shimmer in it, which I really like. And we are going to do mascara. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous. So what I like to do, you're doing the right thing, look down, and you wiggle, and then pull up. And then you get right in there and you wiggle and pull up, and kind of let that membrane right there, that water line, sort of do the work for you. So all you're kind of doing is just getting it as close to the root as possible. The worst thing you can do with mascara is not get close enough to the root, because then it leaves, especially if your eyelashes are light, it leaves sort of this gap, and that doesn't look very flattering. You want your lashes to give your eyes the illusion of being much thicker right there, so you get that thickness from a nice dark lash line, even if you don't have black eyeliner on. So we're going to do the same on the other side. Oops. Get in there, wiggle, pull up. I really like this mascara. It's a great drugstore brand. I find the L'Oreal is the one I always gravitate towards. They just seem to have a really good quality for the price. It's hard when you go to the drugstore because you really don't know until you get home and try it, especially with mascara. So I always go by what friends recommend, or you end up buying like 4 different mascaras and throwing 3 of them out. Okay, look up. Just a little bit on the bottom lashes, just to kind of blacken them a tiny bit. You don't want them to be too clumpy. If they do get clumpy, you can take a tissue and wipe the brush off and then just get like a nice clean one in there. I just love a full brow, and I love brows that don't look overly done. I'm so sick of seeing like the painted on Groucho Marx eyebrows that you see on Instagram all the time, Instagram brows. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to use the Anastasia Brow Wiz. Brush all the hairs up. And this color is taupe. This is just a great color. It's kind of like a mushroomy, shadowy shade that really can work for anybody, because all you want to do when you fill in the gaps is just create the illusion of more hairs. And if you use a color that's too dark, it ends up looking really drawn on. What I'm doing is little short strokes, and right at the root where all these brows are kind of stopping, that's where I'm going in and just making the little short strokes just so that they look a bit fuller from there. Allie has very Cara Delevingne brows. If you dyed your hair blonde, she'd be in trouble. All right, and now at this part, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing with the brush, but I'm just kind of pushing it this way. It kind of rustles up the hairs and just gives the background a little bit more shadow. Brush them up again. And I'm just noticing one more teeny tiny gap right up here. So I'm just going to take my pencil and just drag it really softly. And then you take the other spoolie side and brush it through. So you can tell this one is definitely more defined, and they look beautiful on their own, obviously, but the nice thing about just adding a tiny bit of definition is it really makes the colors of the eyeshadow stand out more. There's just no substitute for a really gorgeous defined brow with a beautiful makeup. If you don't find that your brows are growing in like Allie's and you need a little help, I will be doing another brow video soon, so definitely check back on that. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and brush these through again. Okay, so the face is done, the eyes are done. The last thing we need to do is conceal and highlight under the eyes. Nothing crazy. We're going to do a little bit of bronzer and then do the lip, and then she will be all done. So I'm going to be using 2 different ones to kind of get a custom brightness for Allie. The first one I'm going to start with is the NARS Creamy Concealer in Custard, which is a really nice yellow tone, which is going to cancel out some of the darkness that's right in here. I recommend anytime you're applying concealer, always make sure you get this part by the nose. That's where we all have a little bit of blue. or gray. And I'm just dotting that out. And then I'm gonna take this Real Techniques brush. I think it's just their foundation brush. What I like about this brush is you can really get close to the lashes without blurring whatever work you did under the eye. And it just kind of brings it down really seamlessly, so you can't tell that Allie has on concealer and foundation, and you really don't want that. You want the skin to just speak for itself. So I'm bringing this up towards the brow and then down right here. This is always notorious for getting super red and kind of bloodshot. So work that down. And again, you want this to be super seamless, so just kind of stripe it down and watch it blend onto the top of the cheek. That's why we haven't done any cheek color or bronzer yet. We want it to look really fresh and really awake. Whether you go to the office or you're a stay-at-home mom, I feel like it's so important to have sort of a go-to makeup look, and this is a great one to do for the fall. It's one eyeshadow, one eyeliner, and then just really beautiful fresh skin. That's about as much time as you have when you're rushing from thing to thing during the day. All right, so dragging this down again. And then this is gonna be a little trick, an added step. You don't need to do this for your day-to-day, but for today, we're gonna take the Naked Skin by Urban Decay Weightless Concealer in the light, which is not Allie's natural color, just putting that out there. What this is gonna do is create the teeniest bit of natural highlight right on the cheekbones without using, I'm gonna do a little bit down the nose too, and here. Without using a shimmer, which I think, a shimmer highlighter has its place. It's beautiful, makes the skin look really, really dewy, but I think it's more appropriate, depending on which one, I think it's more appropriate for nighttime. So if you want a daytime highlight, use a concealer in a shade that's 1 or 2 colors lighter than your skin tone, and you will get just that, just a little bit of brightness right on this cheekbone here. I think it's so pretty. And I took a little bit here, right down the nose, right on the lip, and if you want to do a little bit on the chin, right in the center there. Okay, so now we need to add color back into the face. Okay, so just applying the lip. This is a really beautiful, neutral, kind of just your lips but better. And I love that it's a pencil because you can just throw it in your purse, even if your purse is super small. Or stick it in your pocket when you have to go to the bathroom on your lunch break. And it's matte, and you can use it for cheeks. So I think for the nighttime look, we'll just use it. So that is the daytime, sort of a bronzy eye with a really beautiful bronze cheek, really fresh skin, really pretty brows. All right, I want to show you.
Oh wow.
Love.
Definitely does something different than that I would do, but it's really pretty. That's just like
It makes your brown eyes look like really honey brown.
brows.
The brows, they're so good. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys like it. All of the products will be linked down below in the description box if you want to get some for yourself. And if you did like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you get to see more videos, and maybe with Allie again. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.